All right, good morning Daiwa fans. Tom Slater here. I'm with my friend Nick Clark, fellow Daiwa angler. An exciting day today. We're here at Roseville Boat Ramp in Sydney Harbour and we're about to head offshore to chase some snapper with the brand new SALTIGA LC range of rods.
Mate, I'm pretty simple with my colours. I love plain white. Always feel like it sort of resembles like a cuttlefish, a piece of cuttlefish just wafting down, especially in the shallows. And yeah, I'm just using a 1/4 ounce bait junkie head. Yeah, tied on with a loop knot. Just going to line up another drift. One of the most important things is to sort of give you the spot you want to fish a fair bit of room. Like, don't just drive straight back up your drift. Snapper are very sensitive fish, particularly to boat noise. So we're out here midweek and there's no one else around, so it's giving us a pretty good advantage, but we've still got to keep a wide berth of our marks, and instead of just going straight back up the drift, I always like to give them at least 200 metres of clearance and go back around before I line up that next drift down. We'll track one down. Yeah, soft plasticking for the snappers. It's not a particularly tricky form of fishing. We just basically select a drift, and the cast we do is just directly down the drift, not to the side. You've got to pretty much throw as far as you can straight down the drift. And most of the larger fish hit the lure on the drop as you drift towards the lure. And we just slowly wind in our belly of line as we approach the lure. So yeah, in 50 metres, you probably get a good couple of minutes of sort of strike time down in the zone. And we've got a snapper on. There's a really light bite. So much feeling through this rod. It's been a pretty slow day. We've had to move around different reefs, different depths, and finally at midday we've yeah, just found a small sort of typical Sydney reef snapper, 2 kilo fish, a good eating size, but I think we're still going to let this one go back down to his home.
All right, so in the SALTIGA LC or light casting rod family, there's quite a few different models. There's 10 models in the range, but there's a couple of different versions of what we'd call snapper rods. So there's 3 versions of what we'd call like a southern snapper rod, and they're generally a bit longer. So they're 7.5 lengths in PE 1.5 to 2.5, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. The standard rod's just there. That's got Fuji titanium SIC guides all the way through the tip, so single foot guides all the way to the tip. But we did those 7'5" also in AGS versions. So I've got the AGS in the PE 3 to 4 there. So a full AGS guide train, so a double foot stripper to get the nice height off the blank, and then single foot AGS all the way through to the tip. And the AGS guides obviously being carbon fibre, a little bit lighter than the titanium frame of the Fujis. You just get that little bit more responsive, crisp action, helps you detect the bites and give that nice tip. The key thing with these rods is we wanted that nice kind of crisp, stiff tip to enable you to work the plastics really well and feel the bites and then set the hook at a really long distance. If you have too soft of tip in a snapper rod, you can't set the hook at a full cast. So that was probably the biggest thing we worked on with these rods, was just getting that right tip. And when you combine that with the AGS guides, you just get a super responsive rod. So There's the 375s, and then there's 2 shorter 7-footers, which are more for the northern style plastics fishing in deeper water, more vertical, so you want a shorter rod for that. So there's a couple of those, and then there's 2 plug specials as well, which are the light stick bait casting rods for your long tails and that kind of thing. So SALTIGA light casting rods is something for everyone in that range. Alright, so just rigging up another 5.5 wave minnow. This is on the little floater rig that we got out the back, so this is on a light jig head, only 1/4 ounce. 6.0. As usual, very important to rig them straight. So they've got the line down the top, so go in dead center, follow it straight down the middle. Poking out there, pulling over the barbs. So a little floater rig out the back. I was like, that's your plastic there, I reckon.
That is it, yeah.
And the prawn is doing damage.
Yeah, that was a good one where we could see them on the screen feeding. There's quite a few snapper there if you scroll back to the Simrad there, Rich. Do you want to press mark there, Tom, on the GPS? Beautiful.
Net job.
I reckon I'll just be able to grab him.
Yeah, look at him there now.
Oops. Another one on the 5-inch prawn. Alrighty. Oh! Well, that was an easy release, wasn't it? This could be the Australian record, Sergeant Baker. Oh, that's a weighty baker. It's a solid baker. Oh,
Yeah, it is.
he is a beautiful dragon.
That's enormous.
They make good bait.
As it was sinking back down. I reckon it is a tiny little snapper. Yep, little snap. Beautiful. Alright, so we've done another couple of drifts since Nick caught those 2 snapper and seemed to have shut down. That's pretty common, you were saying, for Sydney snapper, mate. You do a drift over them, you might get 1 or 2 fish and then you have to move on.
Yeah, for sure, and especially once the sun gets overhead, and sort of middle of the day can always be a bit tough on snapper. But yeah, it's been a grindy day, but it's been fun nonetheless, getting a few small ones.
Yeah, good to come out, and I guess using the new rods, you've been, as I said from the start, you've been kind of involved with us. We got you on board when we started developing these, so you've seen them through the prototype stage and you've felt the samples. I guess what's it like to be fishing with the final product?
Yeah, it feels really nice, hey? Like, yeah, I'm pretty fussy with my snapper sticks. It's one of the main styles of fishing that I do, and definitely ticks all the boxes. Yeah, they feel unreal match with these, especially match with the 4000 SALTIGAs. Yeah, they cast well, they feel nice, they're light. It's not labour intensive to just cast this thing all day, really. Yeah, and the 2 fish that I caught, it felt exactly as it should. So yeah, hanging to
Put a proper bend in one.
Put a proper bend in one for sure.
For sure, yeah. Well, as I said, we've put a lot of effort into these. As you say, they are physically very, very light rods. So it's the best of the best stuff that we've put into these SALTIGA LC rods. So good to come out on the water and catch a couple of snapper. No giant ones, but that's what keeps us coming back, I suppose. We'll have to come and try again. So
100%.
Head back into the ramp now and call it a day.
Beautiful.